Now at 5:30, Leestown Road at North Yarnellton is still shut down after a FedEx truck crashed into two utility poles.
Also on WKYT this morning, a Powell County minister accused of sexually abusing two girls will appear in court this morning for a preliminary hearing.
And 3 men are recovering from serious injuries after being hit by a drunk driver who fled the scene.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning, and it's so nice to have you with us here on WKYT as we get this Tuesday off and rolling. I'm Bill Bryant.
And I'm Rebecca Smith. Hope yours is off to a great start. You know, we're just feeling that chill in the air. It's coming on.
We are, and as the day goes along, this is a strange one because we start out warmer than we will end up as the day moves ahead. Let's check in with meteorologist Jim Caldwell. Good morning.
And good morning to you. And you're right, we are starting this day off rolling, and we're rolling downhill as we go into the afternoon and evening hours. Temperatures will continue to drop. We're in the upper 40s, low 50s through central Kentucky. You go to the south and east, upper 50s and low 60s are holding on. So they have only one place to go for sure, and that is down. And they're going to watch a rapid drop in temperatures through the daytime hours today, as we will likely see the same thing around here as well. We'll have the clouds around for you. Temperatures by the afternoon in the mid-40s. We go into the nighttime period and early tomorrow morning, and how about 39? We'll start chilly temperatures, and then we get into your Wednesday. Showers are back in town with temperatures around 47 degrees. So this is where you call it chilly showers again. We've had spring-like showers here recently with those warm temperatures, but we're going to go back into full-on chilly shower mode, and winter has finally arrived, guys. We'll track it in our 7-day forecast in just a little bit.
Okay, some are saying it's about time, I guess. Yeah. Thank you.
It was inevitable.
That's right.
Well, part of Leestown Road is closed this morning after a crash involving an overturned semi.
Yeah, just before 10 o'clock last night, a FedEx truck flipped and it took down two power poles in the process. It's been a night-long process to clean it up. WKYT's Mark Barber is live along Leestown Road with the latest.
Good morning, Bill. The crash closed Leestown Road about 7 hours ago, but police are telling us this morning that it will likely be another 4 hours or so before they're able to reopen the stretch of road. Now, the crash actually knocked out two utility poles that are just down the road here, and that actually knocked out power to about 83 homes in the area. You can see crews right now working to restore power, get those utility poles back up. Now, they initially hoped to get power back up to the customers here in the next few minutes, but at last check for the outage map for this area, we were saying that it could be another 2 hours before people have their power back up and running this morning. Now, the crash that has caused really quite a mess here happened around 10 o'clock last night near this intersection of North Yarnellton Pike and Leestown Road. That is when police say that a FedEx truck that was carrying two trailers tried to get around a car that was stopped in the road. That's when we're told that this FedEx truck slid into a ditch. We're told when the driver tried to correct that truck, get it back up onto the road, a utility pole got caught between the two trailers that truck was pulling. Now, that flipped the FedEx truck, spilling a lot of its packages. At this point, it appears as if that mess, anything that spilled from the truck, has been cleaned up. But again, crews still working to clean up the damage that was done to the utility poles here so they can reopen the road. Now, we have seen quite a few cars, quite a few trucks turning around at the roadblock that is just behind our camera here. So this crash, this shutdown road, is already causing quite an inconvenience for people who use Leestown Road here. And of course, we're expecting to see that to continue through the morning as crews work to get this back open here by 9:30 or 10. Live in Lexington, Mark Barber, WKYT.
All right, tough timing for that, which will obviously affect the morning rush hour, so everybody keep that in mind. Well, a Powell County pastor accused of sexually abusing two girls will be appearing in court this morning in Wolfe County.
Steve Williams goes before a judge to have his bond set. WKYT's Mike Byer is joining us from the live desk with details.
A Powell County minister who is viewed as a public servant and a community helper will be back in court this morning after being accused of sexually abusing two girls. 52-year-old Steve Williams will have a preliminary hearing, and a judge will set his bond in Wolfe County instead of Powell County. Sheriff's deputies say Williams touched a girl inappropriately during a church field trip, and he also is accused of abusing another girl inside Bowen First Church of God, the church where he was a pastor. This before he resigned last week. Williams also worked as a Middle Fork volunteer firefighter, and he was a school bus driver. Now, because Williams was in a position of power, sheriff's deputies say there's a chance that more victims could come forward. If so, they say more charges could be filed against Williams. At the live desk, Mike Byer, WKYT.
All right, Mike, thank you.
3 men are still recovering this morning after being injured in a hit-and-run crash.
It happened Sunday night along Midland Avenue. Lexington police say 25-year-old Asil Areola was drunk when his car went up on the sidewalk and hit the 3 men. They say he then drove off before later being arrested.
It makes me heartsick, and I really do hope that the men survive and that whoever hit them, I'm thankful that they caught him, and I hope that he's prosecuted to the full extent.
The father of 2 of the victims says his sons, Clarence and William Hockaday, both needed surgery but should survive. However, he says the other person with them, Michael Nipper, is not doing well. A UK spokesperson says Nipper is in critical condition. The suspect is being held on a $23,000 bond. A man accused of causing a crash that killed 4 people and an unborn child in Clay County says he is not guilty. Jason Gibson was arraigned on murder, fetal homicide, and DUI charges yesterday morning. Police say Gibson was driving under the influence on December 18th when his car crossed the center line and hit another car along the Hal Rogers Parkway. Judy Pennington Adams, her pregnant granddaughter Tiffany, Tiffany's son Kyson, and a family friend, Charlene Lewis, were all killed.
In Knox County, a mother says she will fight for justice for her son after he was killed in a crash. Last week, police say 22-year-old Ryan Baker died when the truck he was riding in crashed on Highway 718. They later charged the driver, Melissa Warren, with murder. Police say she was driving under the influence at the time. Warren pleaded not guilty. Baker's mother says he leaves behind a 16-month-old son.
We're going to be at every court hearing, every date. I will be there. We're going to support our child, and we're going to get justice for him for what has happened.
Witnesses say when they got to the truck to help after the crash, it was so badly damaged they could not even tell the make or model. Well, after pushing for laws to change for nearly a decade, advocates for victims of domestic violence will see a new state law in effect next year.
The new law closes the gap on filing emergency protective orders. The previous law allowed EPOs to be filed if a person is married, lives together, or has a child in common. But with this new law that goes into effect Friday, violence suffered in a dating relationship will also be covered.
It was a gap. It was a gap in service that those of us in this field had very little recourse except for criminal charges.
State Senator Whitney Westerfield co-authored the bill. He says it brings Kentucky up to date with most other states on creating protections for people in dating relationships. The protections will now be called IPOs, that is, interpersonal protective orders. After the new year, a Lexington-based company is planning to expand. Clark Material Handling Company off Old Frankfort Pike is planning to expand its facility. Company leaders say it will increase its under-roof manufacturing in Lexington by more than 200%. As part of the expansion, 2 material handling truck models currently made in Mexico will be made in Lexington starting in May. The company has not said how many new jobs could be created by that. It's an encouraging sign.
Yes, and another encouraging sign for people who love chicken, right? After being away for years, Popeyes back in Lexington on New Circle Road.
The new chain has been open since Sunday. Sometimes the drive-through line has been so long that cars have wrapped around a nearby plaza. To say the restaurant is a hit might be an understatement.
Lexington's really been super. The people are great. We've asked them, sorry that you have to wait so long, and all they tell us is that we're just glad that we're here. So we've been well received. The Lexington people have just been fantastic.
Owner Bill Mann says he is already eyeing more Lexington locations. He says from what he's seen so far, he thinks there is room for 2 or 3 more Popeyes around the city. A chain that was here some years ago and makes its return.
Looks like it's very popular.
It is. And it's time to check live drive traffic this morning and see what is going on. Reminder, of course, of those issues out on Leestown this morning. There about Yarnleton Pike, where there's been a utility truck involved in a semi that hit utility lines. That's caused the problems in the overnight hours, and those continue.
Yeah, and we're expecting that road to potentially open by 9:30 or so. That's what our reporter on the scene there says from talking with Kentucky Utilities crews, and things looking pretty good around town. You can imagine not too much traffic out there right now, because maybe a lot of people still have days off. I don't know. Yeah, that's what it seems like.
Obviously, a lot of people do have a little vacation time here in the holidays.
Nice.
A lot more news coming up on WKYT on your Tuesday morning, and we're glad you're up and at it with us today.
If you have concert tickets for a show in January, you may want to think about changing your plans. We'll tell you why.
And temperatures are as warm as they're going to be all day long, it looks like. We're going to continue to watch those drop. And this is just the beginning. Winter may finally be here. We will track it coming up.